Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon out there in Radio Land. It is Thursday. It feels like it's been a long week. I don't know about you, but boy, oh boy, it is Thursday. And here we are. We have made it through the fourth day of the week right now. Sun is still shining outside. Temperatures are still higher in the Statesville, Iredell County area here. And this is On the Record with Brian Summers. Folks, oh boy, what are we going to do? It's Thursday, and I'm going to share some news with you, some history with you, some information. But I also want to get right off to it, right off the bat. Want to get you and engage you out there at 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. Give me a call. Want to know what you out there, good citizens in the world, what are your thoughts on last night's presidential debate? Everybody has had an opinion. Everyone's had an opinion and their thoughts. And I figured that what we should do, we've had this theme of this week talking about the realm of politics, but we'll have a Freedom Friday tomorrow where we'll have a plethora of things. We'll talk about anything tomorrow, Friday. It's Freelance and Fancy Free Friday tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow's show. But today, I want to talk about what happened in Wisconsin last night. Who do you think won? Who do you think made the greatest stage presence? What is your opinion? And what qualified anybody to go on to the next level of the GOP presidential debate? That is the question I pose to you out there. Give me a call, 704-873-1400. But before we get started, you know, I'm a history guy, and every now and then I like to talk about some good history in our country, some things that took place, and share with you. And we'll have the birthdays at the top of the hour. But I got to tell you, for sure going on this date, in August 24th, 1814, in Washington, D.C. We're talking about the British invasion of the Beatles coming to America. Well, actually, in 1814, we had British troops march on Washington, D.C., starting out from a little place outside of D.C., Bladensburg Road, which was coming in from the southeast part of Prince George's County at that time, and they came up Bladensburg Road, marched into the Capitol and Capitol Hill, burnt the Capitol first on August 24th, 1814, then went 2 miles down the road, burnt the White House, which sent President Madison and his family fleeing from the White House. But what they did severe damage to the Capitol itself. And, my 31 years on Capitol Hill, I used to give a lot of different discussions and talks about the British burning the building in the War of 1812. And they call it the War of 1812, but it took them 2 years to find D.C. That's a joke that I always would put out there. But that happened on this date, folks. The War of 1812 was the British came into the U.S. Capitol, burned the Capitol, burned the White House. The Library of Congress was inside the U.S. Capitol. It was up on the second floor of the Senate side, and that is where they took books. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't know, but because I was there, I know all this history. They took books from the Library of Congress on parliamentarian procedures, went to the second floor of the Capitol, which is Mitch McConnell's office, a fireplace there. And at that time, it was just down the hall from the Library of Congress. And they put the books in the fireplace. And I've seen that fireplace, been in that part of the Capitol. And that is where they started the fire to burn down the Capitol that time. That is what the British did on this date, in 1814. August 24th. So a little bit of history there. Some more good history. I'll tell you what, we're talking a little history of things. What else went on? We had, for a fact, I should tell you, the National Park Service was established on this day through the U.S. Department of Interior. And if you've ever visited any battlefields in the U.S., or if you've been to Ford's Theater, you've been to Gettysburg, you've been to Manassas, anywhere that is a national park set up by the U.S. government, it falls under the U.S. Department of Interior. And so the National Park Service was opened and started and declared and established on this date in 1916. That's some good stuff. And then the very first airplane to fly from New York to Alaska arrived on this date. And so some good thing. And then there was a treaty for all you interested in the wars that are going around the world right now. There's the war in Ukraine going on. But on this date, in 1921, the U.S. signed a peace treaty with Germany. And I think that was bringing an end to some fallout that had happened from the First World War, which had went on. And then any more going on in this this time of a lot of things. So, 1941, U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt signed a bill to appropriate funds for the construction of the Pentagon. So, those are good things that kind of happen in our country, and some history, some things to think about. History matters, folks, and we should preserve history, not destroy it. History matters. So, I wanted to share that with everyone, and then really just kind of talk to you more about what we're going to talk about today, which is what is happening in Atlanta. That's going also for discussion. So call in 704-873-1400. And then who watched the debate last night? Did you watch the debate on Fox, or did you watch over and watch Tucker Carlson had an interview with the former president on his I think I call it his Twitter or X. And I didn't see that, saw some snippets of it, but I really was watching the debate because that's what we'd had a discussion on yesterday. And I wanted to just really see what was happening, who was going to perform, and what was going on. And so that was my last evening for sure. But I wanted to say I wanted to see what the American people, the citizens out there in Iredell County, Alexander, Rowan, Mecklenburg North, and South Wilkesboro. What did you all think about the debate? Who do you think gave the best performance? Did anybody out there earn your vote? And did you go in with a different candidate and come out with a different one maybe after the debate last night? And so it's so important to engage you and find out, and give me a call. I got 8 phone lines here wide open, 704-873-1400. That's what we're talking about. Last night's the debate. And so this is a post-debate of what happened last night. And the line's open for anybody. You don't have to be a Republican, Democrat, or an independent. It's you. You're in this country and you're eligible to vote. You matter, and want to hear from you on that. But we thank you for tuning in out there in Radio Land. We'll do the roll call here. My voice is getting something happening, so we'll get a break. I'll take a swig of water for sure. But I want to say hello and good afternoon to Harmony, Troutman, Love Valley. Hope you're out there listening. Mooresville, Davison, Cornelius, Huntersville, and in Cabarrus County, we can even pick up over there too. Salisbury checking in, Taylorsville. Got my Lackey cousins up there. Good afternoon to you, good folks. And of course, right here in my own hometown, born and raised right here, downtown Statesville, checking in as well too. We like to have you, WSIC 1400 AM, 100.7 FM, 105.9 FM. All of the everything that you want to hear and find, you can get us right here on WSIC. And so we're delighted to have you here. Folks, we're in a place now, and I know you've seen all of the news coverage that was going on and has been going on down in Atlanta. And I don't think this is, in my opinion, and you're listening to On the Record with Brian Summers, it is a place to be celebrating to a degree. I think that I'll just share with you my opinion that when you start to politicize and go after folks that you may disagree with. Now, I'm not saying President Trump is innocent. I'm not saying President Trump is guilty. We have a system that says you are innocent till proven guilty. But I think this sets a very dangerous precedent, in my opinion, because I was thinking, and I had lunch with some friends today, and I said, so what if the shoe was on the other foot? And so I tried to talk to a friend of my friends who's a legal scholar, I call him, and I said, so what happens in this country when this stuff kind of happens? And, another party gets the power, and they want to turn Madam Justice free on people that they don't like or disagree with or feel they committed a crime. I think it's a road we don't want to go down, quite honestly. And I'm still appalled by people wanting to celebrate anybody's downfall. If somebody's guilty, the system will find them guilty. If they're innocent, the system will find them that. But I think you ought to have your day. And but it's just, I think to have people celebrating and gloating over it is just not a good thing. That's not who we are. And I'm not here to say yay or nay on President Trump. Let me just state that right off the bat. And so, but hey, call me up. Your opinions matter. You matter. I want to hear from you. 704-873-1400, 704-873-14. Got a break going on right now. This is Brian Summers for On the Record, and I'll be right back.
More On the Record with Brian Summers is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. 1059 100.7 WSIC.
All righty, folks, here we are right now on the record with Brian Summers, right back here in the studio live. It is Thursday all day long here, and I threw some history out there for you, threw some comments out there, was sharing my opinion last night. Just me, and I would love to engage and find out because we are a thinking country. We're a country of folks who are analytical in thought, and I think a good, healthy discussion is always a welcomed anything. So last night I watched the debate. I watched all the debate that was happening there on stage there in Wisconsin, the first of the GOP presidential debates. And I got to say, I was less impressed with the rudeness of shouting over each other, particularly. I didn't, like that. And I thought that, people were trying to be there and present well and kind of, but I think everybody was going for a kind of standout, breakout moment. And everything short of standing there taking your shirt off, as one candidate had did earlier in the day and thought he could walk around with his young self with his shirt off was, anyway, theatrics to a degree. I thought that the moderators, I will say, the Fox moderators did very, very well. I was very impressed. I've known Bret Baier for a couple of years and knew him from circles in D.C. I thought he conducted himself very well. I thought the questions were really spot on. I don't think they held back anything and pulled any punches. I think they kind of gave a good perspective across the board of the questions from Bret Baier and his co-host there last night. So that was a good thing. And so, but I want to find out from what did you think? Anybody out there watch the debates? Have any opinions on the debates? Were you swayed by last night's debate? Did any candidate up there sway you as you went in, maybe supporting one candidate? Now you came at the end of it, slept on it tonight. Now you're up today, Thursday. What are your thoughts? Give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. What say you? Come on the record with Brian Summers. Let's hear from you. Let us hear from you. We love to hear from you, and because what you think and what your opinion matters here. We are one place that you can call up and share your opinions. Like it, love it, or leave it, but we'll listen to it. We'll take it right here on the record because we are truly, I know people say about fair and balanced, but we really truly are fair and balanced here. So anyway, that is kind of what's happening where I am. I think that, in my opinion, former governor of South Carolina, Nikki Haley, and former Vice President Pence, I think leaned deeply back on their experience from both being governors of states and also their time on Capitol Hill. Nikki Haley was a former ambassador in the Trump administration. Of course, Mike Pence was former vice president. So I think they leaned on some of their experience and some of their responses to a lot of things as far as a global view really stood the point. I think that Chris Christie came there to do just what he started out to do and has wanted to do, which is to kind of just muddy the waters and be bombastic, I think. I think Asa Hutchinson, former Arkansas governor, I don't want to leave him out. I think he means well, and I hear him, but I just don't know if the party is in a policy position right now. And so just kind of curious, though, but those are the ones. And then the young man, and I don't want to destroy his name, and I think he could have took a back seat. And I mean, he wants to stand out and kind of be the loudest baby in the room. I almost felt like, he was in need of a changing, and maybe someone should change him and give him a bottle. Because I think he was over there in the corner with the me, kind of thing. And I will say this, I am 100% in agreement with the veteran politicians on the stage who all turned to him and told him that his positions on Israel, his positions on Russia particularly, were just wrong and dead wrong and not U.S. policy and not in the best interest of the United States. And his inexperience showed. I think they call him Vivek. So that's just my opinion. And North Dakota Governor Brogdon, he was pretty good as well, too. Again, being very respectful to everybody. Tim Scott, was he even there? I say that because I think he must have thought he was in the Senate waiting to be acknowledged by the Senate pro tem in the chair because he hardly had any presence on the stage last night. And so if I have a different opinion, you have a different one, call up, let me know. 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. You can get us live on Facebook. We're streaming live. Instagram, we're on there. Twitter, we're on there as well, too. And LinkedIn. And so you can call in and make your opinions and your facts and share your information, your thoughts on last night's debate. What say you out there in radio land? It's very important. And so a lot of talk going on. And then, too, we can also discuss what's going on down in Atlanta. I know that all of the outlets are all about that and looking at that. And, we're in some uncharted territory right now, folks, uncharted waters right now in a nation as the former president is going to face a magistrate there in Fulton County, Georgia. And be served with papers in a criminal matter that they're calling this. And so I still want to know what your thoughts on it, too, are. So give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. We also had put out there and had some thoughts and, thoughts and minds all week long. We went into thinking about what's happening on Maui. And it's just, there's still the devastation there. We may be able having something going forward, going into next week, some ways that as WSIC, we can help to try to contribute to some of the families and some of the devastation that happened out on Maui with the fires there in Lahaina. And so I know when my honeymoon, I was in Maui for my honeymoon, which is not far from there. But the fires that really totally destroyed all of the area around Lahaina, just terrible. And so let's say thoughts and prayers, hearts and minds out to the people there in Hawaii. So give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. I want to know what you think. What are your thoughts? We got a lot we put on the table today. Are you watching what happened down in Atlanta and it's going on there now? I will say this. And I'm going to say this, folks, and, I know Mark Meadows, and I was in Congress when Mark Meadows was serving and when he was leading the Freedom Caucus. And it was a little, to see him go and face this down in Atlanta, knowing the person, and I can call him a friend. We're first name basis. If he walked in the studio right now, he would absolutely know who I am. And so Mark is, I would say, a personal friend because the times that we were both there in Congress, and I know that there are some times with Freedom Caucus would come over to the Senate, and we had various things that we worked on together and traded together, and secured legislation and votes going forward. So I got to know Mark Meadows. The same thing with Vice President Pence. When he was a member of Congress, often there's a group that would fellowship together in the Wednesday group, and we would meet in the to have fellowship there in the Capitol. So it was a little tough to see him, down there in Atlanta and now having to face this and go through this. Most certainly not the person I know, and I'm not judging what Atlanta said he did or didn't do. That's not a jury has to decide that. But it was a little. I kind of was saddened to see that because someone who had been so very important to growing the Republican Party, growing the conservative ideas and principles, leading the Freedom Caucus in the House of Representatives, to now have this going on. Yeah, it was a little unsettling for me. So that's a personal privilege I have on this show to be able to share that with you and say that. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying he is innocent. I'm only saying you're innocent until his country till proven guilty. And but I do know Mr. Meadows and several people who worked on his staff before he went to the White House, before he became White House Chief of Staff. In fact, one of the last times we had a good personal conversation was just after President Trump had tapped him to go over to the White House to become on as White House Chief of Staff. He had to inform the House administration of his, to resign his seat. And then they had a special election to replace him in the House of Representatives, because you cannot appoint members to the House of Representatives. So, but he and I, I guess we were down in the mess side of the Capitol, just chatting after one of the House conferences. So I, we would go to the House conference and, kind of get all of the leadership information of where we were going for the week and bills and pending committees that were coming up. So that's just one of the things that happens. On the House side, they call it conference. On the Senate side, they consider that the Tuesday lunch, which the president and vice president are invited up to the Capitol to do when we were in the Senate majority. And oftentimes, President Trump would come sometimes, but I'd say about 85% of the time it was Vice President Pence who would come up to the Capitol for a Tuesday luncheon on the Senate side. So just wanted to share a little bit give you a little insight and things that happened on Capitol Hill. Give you a chance, give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. This is Brian Summers for On the Record, and we've got a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Atlanta. We're going to talk about the debates last night and who, in your opinion, did very well, who didn't do so well, and was your opinion changed by anybody you went in thinking you were with one candidate, and did anybody sway you to think differently on possibly voting for a different candidate in the 2024 presidential election? That is the question of the day, folks. Want to hear from you? Give me a call here, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. This is Brian Summers for On the Record. If you get a chance, and it is Thursday, keep in mind that we always encourage you and want you to, because on Tuesdays and Thursdays here on WSIC, it is WSIC night. It is so the YMCA Statesville. Get a chance, give us a call, check it out. On the Record, Brian Summers.
4 Studio 4. It's on the record on the new 1059 100.7 WSIC.
Alrighty, folks. Good afternoon. It is still Thursday all day long here on WSIC on the record with Brian Summers. And I had posed a couple questions out there as we were talking about last night's GOP debate out in Wisconsin. And there were 8 candidates who qualified to be on the stage with the RNC in an agreement with Fox. So Fox had the exclusive. Some people had emailed me and texted and said, how is it that the other networks did not carry the debate? Well, from my experience, how this works is that you don't probably want other networks carrying a debate where everybody, is doing their own thing. You want to have the exclusive to get all the maximum tuners to your channel and your network. So Fox had an agreement with the RNC, and they had the exclusive. And with that agreement, there were some conditions, and I'm sure it was that no one else would have broadcasting rights to the debate last night. So that's how that came about. And but I want to still searching out there, figuring out. IRL, let me know, folks out there, who watched the debate? Who do you think won the debate? Who do you think was the up-and-comer in the debate that you were impressed with? Was there anybody on that stage last night that you went in thinking about one candidate and came out with in somebody else's corner? But what say you? Give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400, right here in the WSIC studios, right here, Radio Road, downtown Statesville. This is my hometown right there. And then, too, a little opinion of what you think is going on down there in Atlanta. There's a lot of activity in the state of Georgia this evening, and but this is where we are, folks. This is where we are, and so I've shared my opinions and my thoughts and all that, and I respect everybody else as well too. But you matter, your opinion and thought matters, and so I wanted to find out just where you were on this whole thing. And so give me a call here on the studio, 704-873-1400. And you can get us live on Facebook if you're streaming. Check us out, and LinkedIn, and LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can get all us here at WSICnews.com and go to our site and pull back up previous shows as well too. We have a great format going on here. Part of the history I was reading to you came from Pat Shannon. And he is just he is, I say, the captain of our ship around here. And I'm just glad to be on board that ship that he is directing and cruising us into a new direction. And so Pat Shannon, that history came from Pat, who shared that with me and said he does that every single day. So he made some of those history facts known to me by putting those in my box here at the station. So we support each other. I enjoy Pat's show. I enjoy tuning in and listening, as all of the shows here on our new platform here on WSIC. But anyway, back to it. If you get a chance, give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. If I talk real fast, folks, it is just because the time, the excitement, the energy of being here and enjoying you and listening with you, and we're doing our thing. So love to hear from you. Get a chance, give me a call. Also, we'll move right on to some other things kind of going on. We've got some local birthdays that we'll do. I kind of read off some national things going on here in history, but some of these you may know if they live here in the Statesville area, Iredell County, particularly friends of mine. Fonda Simmons. She was Fonda Crawford Simmons. That's a happy birthday to you. She went to Statesville High School, was in the band with me at Statesville High School. So happy birthday to Fonda Crawford Simmons out there. I think she's down in the Monroe area now, and her husband and family and kids down there doing well. Alan Boyle, happy birthday to you as well. Rosina Williams, happy birthday to you. We have Julie Hollifield. Happy birthday to you, Miss Julie Hollifield. Happy birthday. And Rhonda Fox Wooten, happy birthday to you out there. Rob Garris, happy birthday. And so I think that might get us all in for the day on birthdays. If you got one you want to share, maybe I missed somebody. Maybe you know someone you want to hear their birthday shouted out, or that loved one. Vivian Perry, happy birthday to you. Megan Miller, happy birthday to you as well, too. And Sam Maddox, happy birthday to Sam Maddox. Jeff Summers, went to DMAT and MB Mills with Mr. Jeff Summers. And then Gloria Diane Thomas, happy birthday to you. Vincent Sorrentino. Yeah, I know we call him Vinny. He's up in D.C. doing some political stuff right now. But, yep, so Vinny, happy birthday to you, my brother. And so we're going to keep it moving right here. Get a chance, give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. Want to know what you think. Did you see the debates last night? And if you did, what are your thoughts on it? And did you go away with a different candidate that you may have didn't go in with? Were you sitting at home and you said, I'm going to check this out, and maybe something came across in the debate last night? You woke up this morning, you had a change of heart. So want to know what your thoughts are and your plans are. And if you're going to go for it, maybe vote for somebody else. And who would you consider? And did anybody on the stage last night come across as presidential to you? Ready to, you think would feel good to have the heartbeat of this nation on day one. That qualified, that was a standout, anybody. So if you get a chance, I want to find that out. I want you to share that with me. Some things going on right away, too, in our community. Always a good thing when I get folks sending me notices about what's happening in and around Statesville, trying to stay in the know. I can tell you on September 13th, Dr. Elliot Engel will be at the Iredell County Public Library, downtown Statesville. He will be talking about a book. He will give a talk on the genius mind of Edgar Allan Poe, and that'll be from 2 to 4 o'clock at the Iredell County Public Library, downtown, September 13th. It's sponsored by Friends of the Library. It is a ticketed event, so we're going to be here at WSIC. We're going to be giving out some tickets to that event that I've purchased that we are going to be doing and give to the listeners here. So if you're a big fan of Edgar Allan Poe, this is something I don't think you want to miss. I'm excited to be on the library board and be there and check it out myself. And for Dr. Rader, Dr. Dale Rader and his wife Ray, their daughter, was here on my show about a month ago, and she's a huge poetry fan. And so I'm going to make sure that I get them a ticket to this event, because when our kids read, they become better. Reading is so very important, and I'm so thrilled and excited that the Iredell County Public Library is sponsoring and putting this on. Friends of the Library is doing this, folks. And I'll say this, and I know you hear me say it every single day, how important reading and literature and literacy is so very important. So school started back. We're in the second week of the school system here, the Iredell Statesville School System. I would encourage you, at any age, take your kids in and get them library cards. We need to be rewarding books and rewarding things with books. So if you got a prize to give your kid, give them a book. If your kid did really well in something, give them a book. So I'm a big proponent of that. And we're going to stay encouraged and continue doing just that alone. So that's what's happening right away. Then there's a church event particularly going on that I got an email about. And I thought, that's new. That's kind of different, particularly going on. But I thought that the information was very vital to want to share. And it looks like second Saturdays. That's not it. So we got this going on at Covenant Church. Covenant Church, which is on Greenbrier. It is 120 North Greenbrier Road, Statesville. They're having an end of summer celebration, backyard of Covenant Church, and it's food, fun, and bluegrass music. August the 26th from 4 to 6 p.m. And they're saying stop by and join them. It's all free to the community. Just more of the community coming together, working together, doing some things. So that's a good thing. That's a real good thing going on right there. And then on this coming Sunday at 10 a.m., 100-year celebration, and this church is this is taking place at, they don't really give Troutman Baptist Church. Yes, Troutman Baptist Church celebrating 100 years this coming Sunday. They've got a special guest speaker. Brad Philbeck is the guest speaker, and that's going to be hymn singing at 9:45, worship service at 10 a.m. So that's Troutman Baptist Church celebrating 100 years. That's an awesome thing. And that's this Sunday, August the 27th, 2023, right there in the town of Troutman, which is growing, and they are 100 years old, folks. So again, if you're looking for a church to go to and some activities to do and going on, check all this out. You've got the Wave up on Highway 90. You've got the Cove Church here in Iredell County. You got St. John's Baptist Church as well. You got Monticello United Methodist Church as well, too. And so if you got information you want to get and share out, get it to me here. Brian Summers on the record, WSIC 704-873-1400. All righty.
There's more On the Record with Brian Summers on the way from the new 1059 100.
What we have and who's calling in and what the caller has to say. Good afternoon. You're on the record with Brian Summers. What say you?
Yes, my name is Miss Brown. I'm calling in about the debate on last night.
All right. Well, what are your thoughts on the debate there, Miss Brown? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Statesville.
All right. And what say you, ma'am?
I think it was very interesting. This all, I think it was 7 candidates running for the debate for the Republicans. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. I thought it was very interesting. I don't know. Just listen to them all. I don't know who to really choose for the Republican Party. I would think.
Oh, you're a voting Republican? Look, well, you're a voting Republican, ma'am?
Yes, I am. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, good deal. All right. And so, but there was somebody on that stage, or maybe not on that stage, that you could support. We had the 8 candidates in there, minus President Trump. So I just wanted to kind of see, had you looked at any of these previous candidates before last night?
Actually, I didn't. No, I just wanted to see it last night and, go from there. on my opinion on who I would choose. So I'm gonna keep that to myself right now, and till I hear all the candidates, to see what they are really all about.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well,
yeah.
well, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, appreciate the call very much, and thank you. But just curious. So you didn't have anybody going into the debates, and you watched it to kind of see who would maybe be a pick or someone you consider coming out. And well, I mean, that's what we asked for. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the debates, which is to inform the voters. So, well, that's good. At least you responded to what was being asked and what was being presented to you of the 8 people on the stage last night. Very good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you for allowing me to call in. Thank you.
All right. Well, Lou, please do. Don't be a stranger. Do call back again. On the Record with Brian Summers. Love to hear from you. Thank you now.
All right. Bye.
All right. That was a call from a lady who said that she's voting. She votes Republican, but she hadn't made up her mind as of yet where she would give or consider her vote to. So it is almost 12 before the hour. If anybody else out there has an opinion to share like that or anything, or if you differ with anything that you heard last night, we thus want to hear from you. 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. I say that, folks, because I want to make sure people know that we got phone lines here open, and no matter what you thought or think of the debate last night, we want to hear from you. Your experience, your opinion is welcome here, and I just want to let you know that you don't have to be in that car and feel like you're taking that drive and you need to just hear music the entire way. You can actually vent some of what you see. And if you're not happy with what's going on down in Georgia, or you're happy with what's going on, we want to hear from you. What say you out there? Because you're who matters with what's going on in this country. It is extremely important that we keep the freedom of opinion, that we keep the freedom of speech. Is very vital. And so I think dissent is a good thing, a balance, and to be able to bring both sides together for a compromise that takes the country forward. It should not have to be and should never be just all one-sided, every single thing. I think we see what happens in a country like the Soviet Union when you have a one ruling, one party theocracy over there, that if you dare having a different opinion or a strategy about things, you can be taken out in an airplane with a missile. And so if you have not heard and see that the gentleman, Prigozhin, who had threatened Vladimir Putin about a month ago with marching on Moscow, was killed yesterday when the plane that he was traveling on was struck down over Russia, of all places. And so I'm not quite sure how he ended up getting out of Belarus, but those are issues and conversations we can have on foreign policy. And I'll get Mr. Ellie Gold back in here from the Gold Institute to kind of fill us in next week on what's happening on the world stage foreign policy wise. But for now, we're sticking right here on the American shores. It's all about what happened last night in Wisconsin. Who stood out and why? Did anybody in there convince you that they wanted your vote and got your vote? And did anybody in there change your mind? And were you dissuaded from anybody? So tell us out there, what did you think? What did you like? What you didn't like? Give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. Brian Summers for On the Record right here. Meanwhile, we're going to go right on with some birthdays. Some announcements that we had going on, particularly. I see some things are going on. We look around in that a church sent into here some announcements from Northmont Baptist Church. That's Northmont Baptist Church here in Statesville. It is on Bradley Farm Road, and they are having a guest preacher. It's their Youth Rally 2023 going on, and it is going to be September 21st, 22nd and so you can most certainly check that out. It's a Tuesday and Friday there. And so that's Northmont Baptist Church. So I don't think I've ever visited there, but I may check that church out. And then Mount Hermon Lutheran Church, they're going from 1896 to 2023. They have a celebration going on there, and they're inviting the community to come out to what they have going on. It's a fellowship lunch after the service. Join us going out there, and that's at Mount Hermon Lutheran Church. that's happening. So again, good stuff. Also, I mentioned earlier hymn sing that's going on. Also, this coming Sunday that'll be taking place, and that's a good thing. And that's at Troutman Baptist Church. I got a phone line lit up here. Let's see who we got on the phone. All righty. Good afternoon. You're on the record with Brian Summers. What say you?
Oh, hey, Brian, it's Hope. It just hit me as you were talking. I find it interesting that this debate happened right after the football season almost.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's all kinds of the fervor's not what I thought it was going to be, and it's just beginning. You know, we can't make a decision off of one of these things. You know, like the gal said before, she's right. Let's check it out and see what's going on. I didn't get to see it.
Okay.
I'm just getting to feel the reverb at this point. And for right now, I think everyone needs to just chill, and chill needs to be the word. And as we can see it, that's what Trump's doing. He's like, I'm going to chill. Go ahead. Make my day. I'm going to go, you know, it's like, sure, that's how we have to kind of have a bit of that reserve about ourselves and just get along no matter what the adversity is, because that's the most important thing. I don't like seeing fighting amongst a group.
Yeah, you know, I hope, I got to tell you, as a guy, I want to see somebody kind of, hey, look, you know, I'm going to check this guy over here or check this guy on the other side. I want to make sure that somebody I'm going to give my vote to, you know, that they wearing their boots standing up and that they can, you know, if need be, they can push back. Now, I mean, I don't want to push over. I want somebody who can push back. So
yeah, exactly. That's been my motto. I don't want to be a pushover or you know, or be too pushy. And that's what Trump's doing. And I'm just saying that's what it seems like. And I don't know, man. It's just I think we just gotta just find a way to get an even keel and ride these sails right now, and not try to make any decisions, and not try to play it like a football game. That's all.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, hope you've had a good week this week, Hope.
Well, you know, I cannot complain. Are you kidding me? I get to wake up every day and have a cup of coffee. There's a lot of people that can't do that. I don't have the best life. I don't have the worst life. Not a pushover or pushy, right?
Hey.
We just have to get the glide going and make it so that America can get its glide back. That's what we need.
And I thought you were going to say, oh, I wake up and then by 5 o'clock I get to listen to your show. I thought I was a highlight of your day.
Hey, we're lucky that you're on every day, because no, seriously, you put it out there, Brian. You know, you are passionate, and I know what it's like. Listen to me. I do this in public all the time. I talk my best to just like be joyful and, you know, have the bar raised so that, you know, we can sway with it. It sounds wiggly and noodle-like, but it's not, because, you know, bamboo is one very strong thing, isn't it? But it wiggles in it ways.
That's true.
But you got to get it done. So let me let you go so you can close your show properly. And thank you, America, and everybody for your time. You guys, we've got this. We just have to love each other.
All right. Good deal. Care. Thanks for calling, Hope. You have a great rest of your week.
Thank you for.
Yes, ma'am.
You too, sir.
Bye-bye. All right, folks. All right. Not you know, not all of the antics or snacks I thought I was going to really particularly hear, but tomorrow I can announce on the show tomorrow I'm going to be joined live in studio by Judge Rob Young, who is he is a Iredell County District Judge, Alexander County, Iredell County, and Miss Lisa Rowe. She is the second vice president of the Iredell County Republican Party, and she also founded the Lake Norman Women's Club down in Lake Norman, Federation Group down there. So Lisa Rowe, I'm going to have two guests in here tomorrow for the full hour. We're going to talk all things this week that kind of happened. Judge Rob Young's going to bring his legal opinion of what he thinks is going on, and we're going to talk, folks. So keep us in mind. God bless you. Don't hit the children. Don't hit your spouses. And love everybody. Pick up a book, and we can make the world a better place. God bless you. And we're working to get there. We're not a perfect country. We're not a perfect people. But I firmly believe that if we knew we had more in common and we have different, we'd approach a different day in a different light. So do that. Be kind to somebody, and let's try to tone down some of this stuff, because we can have opinions, but all our opinions don't have to become somebody else's facts. And so we really need to go back on the spirit of the harmony of who we are as a people. There are 582 churches in Iredell County, and I hoped and wished that you would find one, and did find one, and what you heard in there on Sunday, you practiced on Monday. And so that's not me preaching to you, and I'm not being pushy. I'm just sharing my faith and what I believe and my walk as we go along in this world, that we all have an opportunity to make tomorrow better.